tie out in Arizona.
It's tough. Better out of the game. It's hard for you from that standpoint, but the growth standpoint of him being able to see those things early in his career will help him longer. Long-term wise, that'll happen, as opposed to maybe some players that get away with it their first year, and then the second year they come in and it's all different, for them as a player. So I think it was a good learning experience for him.
Hawkinson had just one catch for 7 yards last week compared to his breakthrough debut where he had 131 and touchdown on 6 receptions. Former Lion Calvin Johnson's also taking aim at the organization again in an interview with Sports Illustrated, admitting to having at least 9 concussions in his career, including one in 2012 against the Vikings where he blacked out. The team said he passed concussion protocol then and wanted Johnson to change his story publicly. Megatron also saying he thought about retiring after the 14 season, but his dad convinced him to play one more year, and he knew the Lions were not serious about winning, and they lost both Nick Fairley and Ndamukong Suh. Turning to baseball, Tigers opening up their final homestand of the season, starting with a 3-game series against the White Sox tonight. Jordan Zimmerman against Dylan Cease. We'll have it for you right here on the ticket, starting at 7:10. And today a travel day for both Michigan and Michigan State as they get set for road games. Spartans heading to Evanston to take on Northwestern. Michigan and Madison against the Badgers. U of M head coach Jim Harbaugh knows this is going to be a tough one to win.
Playing in Camp Randall's a tough venue. That's a tough win to get. And we haven't had, haven't won in 4 or 5 tries. So just a big game for us, big challenge.
In fact, the Wolverines' last win at Wisconsin came back in 2001. They're 0-4 in their last 4 trips. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Ryan Woolley. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or radio.com.
I'd like to introduce Mike Sullivan from 97.1 The Ticket and Oakland University alum to the stage for the Men's Newcomer of the Year Award.
Thank you guys for having me. Great to be back here. Where you guys are from, always fun. Definitely appreciate you guys having me out tonight. Hold up. It's this ass. Now, this is my Men's Newcomer of the Year, and each made a significant impact for their teams this season. Let's check out nominees. Man, this is some bullshit. Move this man.
That's one of the saddest things ever. That's our own little Sully kid, Mike Sullivan, being introduced at his alma mater, Oakland U, right?
It was.
And he got booed, and they threw, Rotten Tomatoes at him? Unbelievable. And he's not here today. What's the deal with that?
On
It's
vacation.
a White Claw Friday.
See, I think that he actually feels worse today than he did that day when he got booed off the stage at Oakland University's award ceremony, because he played one of the worst rounds of golf this morning that I have ever seen.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
He should be shamed then.
I guarantee you he'll be opening up some drinks, maybe a little bit early on Friday night. Yeah, there you
Well,
go.
let me ask you this. When you were on the golf course, did you see Calvin Johnson out there? Calvin plays a lot of golf, from what we understand.
Well, which, by the way, did you see the picture of his, mangled
His fingers?
fingers?
Oh, yeah.
How does he play golf well? With his fingers, how do you grip the club properly?
Did he say he plays it well?
I would. He's 6'5". He's a great athlete.
Yeah.
He's trying to go out there and play well. He's just trying to go play.
No, but to a certain degree, if you're going to commit to playing golf, and I bet he plays a ton, you got to be good at, unless you're Rieger. Rieger's the exception. Okay, he's terrible at golf, yet he plays 5 days a week. If you're Calvin Johnson, you got to go out there and play well.
No, I'm looking at the photo of his fingers. Yikes. And are those Stafford related? The ball being thrown so hard that his fingers always kept breaking? The poor thing. For those who don't know, and we've heard from Calvin before, but he really went very, very much more in depth with our old buddy Michael Rosenberg of Sports Illustrated. Big article dropping today, and in the print edition coming up, where Calvin really goes all in on dismantling the Lions. And dismantling, kind of, yeah, he does sort of dismantle them about their medical procedure, how they treated concussions, them taking his bonus money back, they were incompetent. And what do you think at this stage is Calvin's motive? is his motive? Because
I
the
don't
Lions,
know that there is a motive, though. You know what I like?
I think there's a slight motive.
He sat down for an interview. He was asked questions, and while I really don't think that he cares all that much, I mean, what are you trying to accomplish?
I think
To me, he says he doesn't care about the money, but really, if they did pay him the $1.6 million back, he would be on the sidelines. He'd be working with Lions, or he'd be around the organization, right? So to say it's not about the money, I think, is disingenuous. It's absolutely about the money.
Yeah, he contradicts himself for sure. I think he's passive-aggressive, which is not a bad thing per se. You know, as Rosenberg wrote, he's the rarity of star without pretense. He really didn't have pretense here. You know, he just went about his business. But I will go a step further. I will say, and having covered him his entire career, Calvin was masterful at playing the game without playing the game, without appearing to play the game. Like playing the game effortlessly as a receiver, but also the off-the-field game. Anytime you'd ask him, you injured it? No, I'm fine. Do you feel like this staff? No. Never had anything bad to say about the coaching staff, the offense, the direction of the franchise. And now that he's out of it, I think he's playing the game for public purposes because he wants to have a business in the state of Michigan, the marijuana business, which is great. I mean, obviously, he said he had tons of experience with the, what do you call it, the devil's lettuce. No, you can't call it the devil's lettuce anymore now that it's legal. Let's just call it cannabis. And I think that's part of the motive, that he wants to be an entrepreneur. And, you know, he wants it known exactly, because I think people still are angry at him for walking away, and he doesn't want to be a business owner who everyone's angry at, so he's laying out, once again, starker, why he left.
Okay, so the phone number is 248-539-9797. Ticket text, of course, is at 97136. I mean, there's some things in here that we already knew about, right? Mm-hmm. The bonus, the signing bonus that he ended up having to pay back to the Lions, he's not happy about that, right? We knew that he had a riff with the organization over that situation, but he does go into, and I think this is the new information, if you will, that we do have, talking about the concussion, specifically the 2012 concussions, when he said he told reporters that he suffered one against the Vikings. The Lions said, and apparently maintain, that he passed their concussion protocol.
Right.
And Johnson later did apologize. I misused the terms nerve damage and concussion. But he says now, I knew I was concussed before I blacked out. I wasn't seeing straight, and they wanted me to change my story, end quote. And that's one that I think is kind of damning to the Lions organization. Not to mention, you had Travis Swanson on Twitter, quote, tweeting the story from Monday Morning Quarterback, saying 100% true. They didn't put me in front of a doctor for an entire week in 2016. Now, he's not being specific about what his issue was, Travis Swanson, the former center for the Lions, but to me, that would sound like what? A potential concussion issue, and they didn't want him to go see a doctor because they wanted him to play.
Okay.
Again, that is what I interpret that.
Right, and
that
I
tweet
imagine
to
the
be.
Lions will have a response about it. It's a league-wide issue, as we know, and teams screwed it up all over the place. But also, you know, a lot of players, apparently even Calvin, didn't really come clean sometimes when they had a concussion, or didn't say the depths of their symptoms. That said, that part doesn't shock me at all. The whole concussion thing, the whole Lions have screwed up medical things. The Lions have screwed up tons of things. And the one thing that Calvin said, you were reading that, I think Wooly said, that he realized they were incompetent, or they didn't want to win when they let Nick Fairley and Ndamukong Suh go. That was Martin Mayhew. That wasn't not wanting to win. That was just being duped. They wanted to keep Suh. They thought they were going to keep Suh. They thought they made an offer that Suh was going to accept. That wasn't, oh, they don't want to win. That was, they're incompetent. And if that was a first clue for Calvin that they were incompetent, then Calvin wasn't watching very closely.
All right, so if you're a Lions fan, you're from here, you follow Calvin Johnson. You've been following this story, the Calvin Johnson-Lions feud. It's it's taken on a life of its own. Like, honestly, there could be a 30 for 30, not just on the Lions, but on Calvin Johnson and the Lions organization. You know, someday
There should be.
maybe we'll get that, but at this point, knowing everything we know, the new details are out there. There's several other former players coming to Calvin's defense on Twitter today. We can get to another one of those coming up. But at this point, are you starting to kind of side with Calvin Johnson and understanding why he feels this way and why he ultimately walked away and why he feels wronged about that $1.6 million signing bonus having to go back to the
Because in the
organization?
immediate aftermath, I think most Lions fans were pissed at Calvin, and even though they didn't necessarily defend the Lions, they're like, hey, why should they have to pay him back? But now it could be edging the other way. It's Bogey and Wojo, or in for Valenti, who's getting married. No, I'm sorry, he's at a wedding. He's already married, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovely wife.
He's at somebody else's wedding, apparently. So you got us, Bogey and Wojo. The phone number is 248-539-9797. Ticket text 97136. If you read these, and we'll read more quotes, an excellent article, are you nudging Calvin's way, or are you still like, no, go away, shut up, no? Which one is it?
We'll get to the phones coming up. 97.1.
It is called happy hour. You sit in your cube, you're not happy. You want to get out of the office, it's sunny right now, you want to go enjoy it. Look, you go to beat-ups, you enjoy a real happy. This summer, get to a Detroit area Buffalo Wild Wings, cold, refreshing 64-ounce pitcher of Miller High Life all day, every day, $5. That is happy. 64-ounce pitchers of beer for $5, TVs on with games all around. Listen, get out, get over to happy hour to B-Dubs and enjoy the $5 Miller High Life pitchers, as well as many other specials. Dine in only at participating Detroit area locations, available for a limited time while supplies last. Of course, you got to be 21 or older to consume alcohol, and as always, please drink responsibly.
Fall into savings at LaFontaine Buick GMC of Ann Arbor, where you'll save time and money for all your automotive needs. Drive home today in a new 2019 Buick Encore, leasing now for only $99 a month. Just $99 a month. Serving Ann Arbor, Highland, and now in Lansing. Or shop LaFontaine Buick GMC AnnArbor.com today. Lease for $99 a month for 24 months and 10,000 miles a year. $3,000 plus tax, title, plate, stock, and transfer due at signing. No security deposit. EGM employee pricing and GM lease loyalty offer is 9/30/19.
At CarMax, when we say we buy all the cars, we mean it. Over the last 20 years, we've purchased millions of cars from coast to coast. In the last year alone, we bought a mountain of Mercurys, an armada of Nissans, a ton of Titans, an ocean of Pacificas, and a sea of Siennas. Not to mention a few Hellcats and a couple of Tornadoes. So no matter what you're selling, CarMax is buying. And we'll buy your car even if you don't buy ours. CarMax, we buy all the cars.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens. And they need people who can keep up. With the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
Meet Miguel. He has investments through Principal.
Hi there.
Miguel finally had the opportunity to buy his dream car in retirement. But life changed when his 16-year-old granddaughter moved in.
We're happy to have her.
With the help of his advisor, Miguel reworked his financial plan, and now that dream car looks a little different.
We just want it to be safe for her to drive.
We can help you plan for that. Principal, investments, retirement, insurance.
Principal Life and Principal Life Insurance Companies, Principal Global Investors, Principal Securities Inc. Member SIPC, member companies of Principal Des Moines, Iowa.
My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish. Now I feel great. That's because I increased my fiber intake with the Metamucil 2-week challenge. And I'm still hooked. I just took Metamucil every day for 14 days. It's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs you down, so you feel lighter and more energetic. Now I never want to go back to that heavy feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge? For a coupon and daily support, sign up at Metamucil.com today. Available at Walmart and Walmart.com.
Tired of wearing the same 5 shirts every week? We can help.
Stitch Fix is a personal styling service that matches you with your own stylist and delivers clothes right to your door. So you take the hassle out of shopping and find new styles that leave you feeling great. With Stitch Fix, you'll get access to great looks ranging from refined to rugged to fit your physique and your budget. Discover the stylist and styles that work for you at StitchFix.com. Personal styling for men, women, and kids. StitchFix.com. Personal styling for everybody.
990445 2019 Ram 1500 plus tax day. Title 24 month lease.
Now, drive 2 loaded Bighorns for $252. Only at Kellyanne Van Dyke Dodge and Warren. Yes, drive 2 2019 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Bighorn 4-wheel drives for just $252 per month. Loaded. Level 1s, heavy entrance with 20-inch rims. No hidden destination charges. 2 new loaded Rams for $252. Only at Kellyanne Van Dyke Dodge. Buy new Dodges discounted up to $18,000 off sticker. Make us handy offer on our surplus Durango, Charger, and Challengers. Worried about credit? Forget it. We approve almost everyone. Kellyanne Van Dyke Dodge does the deals the other dealers won't. See us at VanDykeDodge.com. Ram Power Days.
Purchase price will rebates to dealer, not a whole call price.
Open an account today at Community Financial. Apply for an auto loan or mortgage, or sign up for any of our other financial services to help you reach your financial goals.
The Michigan Wolverines play in Wisconsin. Kickoff tomorrow at noon on 97.1 The Ticket or radio.com.
How many concussions do you think you had?
At least one a year.
How often did you appear on the injury report with a concussion?
Never.
Did you question the organization's commitment at all?
Of course. It's not about the welfare of the players. It's about having that product on the field.
When did you start to realize this problem might be too big to overcome while you're there?
I was at year 7, I believe, when they got rid of Nick Fairley and Dominican Sue. Whenever they got rid of those guys, I'm like, okay, we're not trying to do that.
I think that was just pure incompetence. So call it whatever you want. I get what he's saying there, and that's well, yeah, the Lions just throw up all over themselves. Yeah, they thought they were going to keep him. That's Calvin Johnson interviewing Michael Rosenberg of SI Sports Illustrated, or the other way around.
I was going to say.
You heard both voices. Yeah.
You heard. Now, Michael, what happened when you attacked Rich Rodriguez and those violations ended up coming out?
It is a very good story, and it's well researched and well done. Like Calvin points out in it, everybody says, well, like he didn't finish his contract, so he's supposed to play back the bonus. They point out that, well, if he had just said he was retiring for medical reasons or had to leave the game, then they would have paid the money. And because he didn't say it or didn't play that game or whatever, he didn't.
There's things that I'll side with Calvin on, and of course, again, the phone number is 248-539-9797. You know, where I think when a $1 billion organization, one that you did give your body to, you were the star attraction, you were the only thing and only reason to watch this team on Sundays. When they're asking for $1.6 million back, which is like $100, or $50 or $20 to the normal person, it's absurd. You know, like I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. So I am 100% with Calvin there.
I am too.
Preserve that relationship. Let him keep it.
Okay, but the average Lions fan is not in. That's the point that I detect the average Lions fan is most pissed off about. Like, well, you weren't owed that money. You quit.
Hello.
Hi, babe.
Hi.
I was thinking, what if you guys got McDonald's tonight and then tomorrow, you grilled some hamburgers for Annie and Eli and...
Yeah, we could do that.
Is Julia going to the fair or no? I don't think so.
I thought they were. They said that they were all going to go. But I don't know. That could have changed. I'm not sure.
Oh, I need to get some money, don't I? I don't have any cash. Well, I think I have. I have the cash that you gave me from the bottle return, and I have $50 from my birthday. So that's 90. If you have 10. I mean, who needs an armband? Ricky, Eli, and Cameron?
Probably.
Yeah. So that's only 3 armbands.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel so stressed out.
Why?
I don't know. About 10. I'm worried. I just want to call that lawyer and talk to him.
What is that going to do?
Nothing, probably.
I guarantee it would do nothing.
Okay. Well, I love you.
Love you too, baby.
I'm going to lay down in a few minutes. I have a headache.
Alright, well, we'll see you in a little bit.
Hello?
I said, okay, we'll see you in a little bit.
Okay, my baby.
Alright. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Out left, and they were yelling for me to run off the field as I came to not burn the timeout. I mean, that's... By the way, the Lions have sent out a statement about this. Did that just come out? Yes. I'm reading on Kyle Meinke of MLive's Twitter feed. Lions statement. I'm Calvin. We respect the privacy of individual players' medical situations and take great pride in the extensive work done by our medical staff and executive team to ensure we follow appropriate protocols with respect to player health and safety. My God, a lot of words. The well-being of our players will continue to be an organizational priority. And then Mikey does point out, deserves pointing out, the current Lions administration had nothing to do with allegedly asking Calvin to change his story about a concussion. That was 2012. Martin Mayo was GM, Tom Luan was president, Jim Schwartz was coach, Dean Kleinschmidt was the trainer. All are long gone.
I would also say, too, I mean, it's clearly one of the bigger problems and things you take out of this is the Lions are just an inept organization and one that constantly makes mistakes. And I think you look at Barry Sanders, you look at Calvin Johnson, and you just go, these guys made all their money. They knew they weren't winning anything. It just wasn't worth it.
I always thought that's what it was. When people tried to tell me, oh, their love of football just went away, and I'm like, no, their love of losing, their lack of winning football is what don't buy the other stuff at all.
See, but that's a problem with the organization because you're talking about, and it's always been talked about with the money that Calvin Johnson that they asked for, they wanted that back. I'm not saying that you let him keep it just so he won't talk, but you let him keep it and then this won't happen.
Exactly.
Right?
This
you
is
have
a
a
relationship.
Yeah. Keep coming out and speaking up bad about your organization. It's just hush, hush. Let him keep the money. What did the Colts do with Andrew Luck?
Exactly. That's
$32 million he kept.
Yep. That's exactly the point, and Kelvin points that out.
And I would also say there's concern within the Colts organization that Andrew Luck's injuries maybe weren't handled, 100% properly. So that is a way to get out in front of stories like this where, these players come out and say, well, they didn't exactly handle my concussion or my ankle properly.
And Luck will always be the face of that franchise for years to come.
Well, Peyton.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You always say Colt.
No, we're going to go to the phones as soon as we get back. I want to read a couple of ticket texts just to get you juiced up here, okay? Here we go. Ticket text 97136. Why don't one of you guys quit and then go tell your employer to pay you for the rest of the year? See how that goes over. Next one. People are. I thought this might nudge people towards Calvin's side, but so far, not yet. Calvin sounds like a bitter ex-boyfriend who is over his old girl, but she's still all he talks about. I have no problem with him walking away. Just don't whine about the bonus. Wow.
I disagree. I thought it was so petty. I really did.
I thought it was petty. I also think he's being passive-aggressive and contradictory. Money doesn't matter. Buying do anything unless they give
And
money.
why sit down and do the interview unless, you wanted something in return. You say it's not about the money. Clearly, it still is about the money.
All right, people really got a lot to say about this,
All right.
and I might have misgauged who they side with.
248-539-9797. We got a couple of lines open. We'll get straight to the phones coming up. 97.1.
Jamie and Stoney. Mornings.
Coming up Monday morning at 6:02. How'd the Lions make out in Philly? And it's 7:02. Michigan and Michigan State both coming off huge games on Saturday.
Jamie and Stoney. Mornings, 6 to 10.
If you're a smoker trying to quit, it may take you several attempts to quit before you're able to quit for good. But quitting smoking does take practice and many small steps, like not smoking cigarettes while driving or while drinking coffee. And with each attempt, you learn something new about what works for you, and you get closer to quitting once and for all. So check out the website everytrycounts.gov for helpful tips, tools, and info that's going to help you on your journey towards quitting once again. The website, lots of information on there for you. Check it out, see what you think. everytrycounts.gov.
Twin Peaks is your ultimate sports lodge with a menu to match. Pair any of our made-from-scratch menu items with a frosty 29-degree draft beer served by a beautiful Twin Peaks girl. And you're in for a legendary sports watching experience. Have you heard Twin Peaks restaurants around the nation have enhanced their menu with craveable goodness? Get up here and try one of our new additions, like the creamy spinach dip, the spicy and savory pork rinds, or our twist on a classic with the smoked pork cubano, served with French fries. Twin Peaks. Eat, drinks, scenic views.
George Clifford of Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical talks about a milestone he's reached this year.
Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical has been in business now for 50 years. And we've been very, very fortunate to have some of the best people anywhere working for us.
Now, for the very few who might not know, talk about what Family offers.
Well, we offer the services of a heating, cooling, and electrical company. Heating and cooling, we repair and install furnaces, air conditioners. We go as far as installing water tanks and generators. In the electrical end, I've often thought about changing the name to Family Electrical Heating and Cooling, because we do a tremendous amount of electrical work of all nature, and people are all very happy with our work because of our wonderful pricing and our wonderful quality.
Thanks, George. 50 years and going strong. Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Learn more at familyheating.com.
Rich, I can't believe how much money people save when they qualify for employee pricing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. People save thousands of dollars. Knowing you're getting the best deal possible sure makes people happy.
But I feel really bad for the customers that don't get employee pricing.
Connie, I've got a great idea. Let's give employee pricing to everyone. Lower payments, save thousands. That makes my job easy.
And a happier, more enjoyable buying experience for all of our customers. It's our best idea ever. I can't wait to tell everyone.
Got a bump on your credit? That's okay. Milan's lenient lenders can get you approved and you still qualify for the employee pricing.
Employee pricing for everyone, every day at Milani Land Chrysler Dodge Jeep brand.
So, if you want to shop all over Michigan, that's your business. But if you want the employee pricing, come see me, Rich.
And me, Tanya, at the all-new Milani Land Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on M53 in beautiful Lake City, Michigan.
Call 810-724-0444 or click MilanChrysler.com.
Excuse me,
Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about genetically modified ingredients?
Don't like them.
Artificial flavors and colors?
No thanks.
Clean ingredients.
Now that I like.
When you care about what's in things and what's not, shouldn't your vitamins be clean too? Sundown vitamins are all clean all the time. Non-GMO, free of gluten and dairy, with colors and flavors from real food. We even have USDA certified Sundown Organics and kids vitamins too. When you're living clean, choose clean with Sundown vitamins at supermarkets, drugstores, or on Amazon.
Welcome to Lunch with Larry. Today we're talking to someone who has really achieved the impossible. Gary, you figured it out.
But all I did was get a close, comfortable shave at a fair price with Harry's.
But so many guys have been overpaying for decades.
Yeah, but Harry's offers high-quality shaving supplies, like durable German blades at an affordable price.
Wow, Gary, you're truly a shaving trailblazer. Harry's is now available at Target, Walmart, and harrys.com/radio.
There's so many people doing amazing things here. Your professors actually care for you. You're not just another name on a paper.
I had to, be out there and be a leader. I'm so happy I made this choice. I really am.
Detroit University. Build a balanced future.
The only way you can take 97.1 The Ticket with you is the radio.com app. Download it
to at least a little bit lean in the direction of siding with Calvin Johnson as opposed to the Lions here. We've known about the signing bonus, but, more information coming out about potential concussion, mishandling of that. And Calvin basically sitting there going, you know what? The team sucked. I retired. I got what I needed to out of the league. I have no regrets. But it does kind of sound like sour grapes.
He's cranking it up, and he's saying, well, why are you guys talking about this, Calvin? This is the line. We talked about Barry for 10 years. That's because people were fascinated by it. The Lions, for all their incredible incompetence, create ridiculously fascinating stories sometimes.
And force two superstars in their prime to retire early. Awful. 248-539-9797. Let's talk to Dustin in Auburn Hills. You're on 97.1. Hey, Dustin.
Hey, guys. Great show. How you doing?
Thank you, Dustin. What's happening?
Yeah, I'll play devil's advocate here for a second. I side with Calvin. I think the money should have gone to him. All the things with the medical stuff, I believe him. But there's another side here. Calvin was a second overall pick, and he talks about the incompetence of the organization. But when you're drafted that high, just like Stafford too, you're to elevate the organization. There are key games. The Cowboys playoff game. Yeah, we got screwed by the refs. Calvin was almost non-existent. The Tampa Bay game, ball goes through his hands.
That was a big one.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There are moments in key spots through his career. And mind you, his record-setting yard season, they were 4-12. So you have to throw it on short. That's easy to do. But these guys who are drafted high, they're the ones on the field. At what point is it their responsibility to elevate an organization we all know is, not what some other organizations
are? Okay, Dustin, let me play devil's advocate. What can you do to elevate a team more than be the best receiver in the game for most of your career?
Well, that's what I'll disagree with. The best receiver in the game is not where I put him. And I'll give you an example. There's great quarterbacks. There's Marino, Stafford puts up numbers. New Orleans wasn't New Orleans till Breeze went there.
But quarterbacks have the ability to get a franchise to rise out of, being awful, more so than a wide receiver. There's a lot of great wide receivers that haven't won anything.
But Larry Fitzgerald, when Kurt Warner comes, that's not a very good team. They go 9-7. He puts that team on his back in big moments. Calvin never did that. He never did that. The same playoff game when Stafford threw 41 touchdowns in 2011, where Calvin, he didn't do anything in that game to elevate us.
See, I would say this, Dustin.
The defense lost you the Saints.
I would lean towards your way a little bit if it wasn't the Lions. Like if Calvin was on, I don't know, the Cowboys or the Patriots or whatever, and for some reason they didn't win when he was there, I would get, okay, but it was a lie. Why would you expect one receiver, an excellent one, Hall of Fame one, to be the one? And I've heard the same argument with Barry, because Barry did his job very quiet. Yes, I wish sometimes he'd be more fiery and go to management and say, why don't you give me the ball at the goal line and all that. I totally get that, okay? But I'm sorry, sometimes when you get a superstar, you don't get to pick the entire package, all right? You don't get to say, all right, he's a superstar. I want a feisty superstar. Okay, no, you got to work with what you have, all right? You got a great running back and a great receiver. And that's my complaint. People wanted, and I get it, but they wanted even more when they delivered quite a damn bit.
See, and I would also say why, the Lions didn't win anything when Calvin Johnson was playing in his 9 seasons, right?
Correct.
And people are angry, he didn't come up with a play. He didn't change the fortune of the organization. And there's a lot of angry Lions fans. And again, the phone number is 248-539-9797. Barry Sanders didn't win a damn thing either when he was a Lion. And yet he is universally praised here in Detroit as I don't blame him. I mean, I get it. The Lions were a terrible organization. He didn't have a great offensive line. He had to do it all himself. I understand why he walked away. Why is Barry given the free pass, and Calvin is the hated guy.
Because he hasn't made it a public dispute. He was always very vague. When he was, tracked down in London or whatever, he's very, very vague. As opposed to Calvin, who has been public about it. And I would suggest the caller, there are a few big instances where a Calvin miscue really did catch it. He was the one that fumbled through the end zone in Seattle, right?
Yep, in Seattle. Yep.
Yeah, but can I disagree with the caller a little bit on something he said? He said New Orleans wasn't New Orleans until Breeze got there. I disagree. New Orleans was New Orleans when Sean Payton got there.
That's true.
Became New Orleans.
Yeah, running backs got there too.
Yes, because then he went out and got Drew Brees. He got everything they needed. And remember when Drew Brees signed in New Orleans, he was damaged goods.
Of course, yes.
So he could have flopped as well in an organization that has always had the same issue.
Right.
So this is not the same there. Calvin was Calvin. Yes, in moments he wasn't there, but there were also moments where he had nothing else there.
Absolutely. As far as a running game and offensive line and everything else, he did have other receivers generally around him.
Yeah, but in 2012, what the caller mentioned, Javid Best got hurt.
Right.
Fairley was hurt. There was a number of key stars for the team that were hurt.
And you know what I think of when I hear the latest from Calvin and read the SI story by Rosenberg is nothing new to me, but it really hammers home. Say whatever you want about Bob Quinn and the Patriot Way and Matt Patricia, and we still need to, but don't you totally get why they blew it up and went in that direction? The amount of dysfunction that had festered for so many years. Do you understand why even more that they went with Quinn and went in a completely different direction?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, it doesn't mean it's going to work, but if it doesn't work, it's not for lack of trying, because at least they finally recognize, oh my God. Look at, just read, listen, hear the dysfunction.
I thought the best quote of the entire story, Calvin Johnson's sit down. In Johnson's second year, quarterback John Kitna said, well, take it away, Calvin. Quote, he left the meeting room one day, and he told the coaches and the whole team that we're not going to win a game when you go into the season with this system. Somebody should have listened, because we were 0-16 after that.
Now, wait a minute.
John Kitna.
I thought, my memory, I'm going to go back. I thought Kitna publicly was touting the Lions that year. Didn't he say, they're a playoff team? Do I have the wrong year? No, Kitna was over the top. Maybe it was a different year. I'm going to go look. I remember writing a column about, Kitna, because they went 4-0 in the preseason.
Yeah. Okay, but
I'm going to check and see if Kelvin's memory matches.
Go ahead and check on that. 248-539-9797. Let's talk to Rod. You're on 97.1. Hey, Rod.
Hey, what's up, fellas? And what up, though, Wojo?
What's happening there, Roderick?
Hey, listen, I got a comment for about Calvin, and I got a quick question to ask you, Wojo, after that.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. Calvin's not hated. It all depends on who you're talking to. I'm 1,000,000% for Calvin Johnson. Again, everybody, have you seen this man's hand? That is not normal for retired NFL football people. And another thing, Calvin Johnson put out his best as much as he could. It's not his fault that the other people could not rise to the occasion on a regular basis as he did. So all he can do is give his best. He played with the Lions his whole entire season, and this guy is one of the greatest receivers of all time. I'm thinking to myself, how dare people even look down their nose at this man? He put his body on the line. His body could have been more durable, yes, but a lot of people are not built the same. Some people get hurt quicker than others, but that's not his fault. He did all he could do. He deserved that money, he deserves the recognition, and he deserves to work with a football organization to help wide receivers stay free from injuries like his. So he deserves everything. I'm 1,000,000,000% for Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, well, and Rod, too, the thing is, Calvin Johnson was the main attraction. He was the reason you watched. He was the star on the team.
So what did you have to ask me there, Roderick?
Mojo, what do you think about Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, working for the Pistons organization, being a part of the Pistons organization, recruiting, and Rodman as well. So we have Rodman, Magic, and Isaiah Thomas working as executives to help the Pistons organization, because right now,
Pistons
all
need
you
more
have
than
is
that.
right now, all you have is Stefanski, and the best he did was bring over Derrick Rose. Excuse me.
Okay, Rod, let's. Rod always.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's a great story.
He always sneaks that in.
Is that the guy?
Yes, he's
Oh
gonna
my
get.
God, I didn't even realize.
I didn't either.
Oh, I would have said that a million times as he was talking.
By the way, don't put your mind, Calvin, up against Wojo's mind. When we come back, I will read you what John Kitna told Wojo before the 07 season and the 08 season. Uh-oh. Unless Kitna was lying to Calvin about them going 0-16. Oh, yeah, I'm going to read it to you. Oh, yeah, I am. We're going to do some reading and recollecting.
I can't wait for this.
Remembering.
And reminiscing. 248-539-9797. Ticket text is at 97136. We'll continue with the phone calls. I want to hear what Wojo has here. A misquote, potentially. Excuse me. 97. Excuse me.
You've heard me talk about FSM before, Foundation Systems of Michigan. You know they're the largest foundation contractor in the state. And here's what it means for you. You get inspectors and foremen who've got more experience with more foundation problems than anyone else. But here's the best part. You get the best customer experience as well. When you work with FSM, not only do you get the best products in the industry, you get personal one-on-one service from your customer experience advocate. This person will be your single point of contact, and it'll be fixed the first time, every time. So if you've got cracks in your basement, sticking doors or windows, a wet basement, whatever it may be, go to Foundation Systems of Michigan today. 877-DRY-MISH. That's 877-DRY-MISH. Or go online to drymichigan.com. It's the best in business. It's Foundation Systems of Michigan.
Todd Wenzel Buick GMC needs your vehicle. Get $5,000 minimum for your 2000 or newer trade when you upgrade to a new Buick or GMC at Todd Wenzel Buick GMC in Westland. For more info or to view their online inventory, check out ToddWenzelWestland.com. That's ToddWenzelWestland.com.
This is Jim Rome with the CBS Sports Minute. Thursday night football just is not that good. Thursday night football is a trap. And I don't mean a trap game for the players. I mean a full-blown trapdoor for everybody involved. It's a big ask for these teams and these coaching staffs to turn around on short notice. So you see games that really aren't that good, but you get a Friday to recover. Then you've got college games on Saturday, a full slate of NFL games on Sunday, and then a Monday night game. And then you get a couple of days off, and you convince yourself that it's going to be great Thursday night. But it never is. And it happened again last night. The conditions are always a mess. The game is even worse than the elements. It happened again last night. Thursday night football is so bad now, even Gardner Minshew couldn't save it. Try as he did. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me every single Thursday, shame on me. I'm not letting it happen again. I'm Jim Rome.
Nobody does spicy like Wendy's. Yep. So all hail the Queen of Spice, because this is the day Wendy's Spicy Nuggets are back. And tomorrow is the day Wendy's Spicy Nuggets are back. Wendy's brought them back. So now every day is the day Wendy's Spicy Nuggets are back. Wendy's Spicy Nuggets are back. Get yours this day. We got you.
Limited time only. Participating Wendy's. Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens, and they need people who can keep up. With the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
I'm Roberta Jusena. I'm here with Bank of America's Detroit Market President, Matt Elliott. Matt, how does Bank of America tailor itself to working in Southeast Michigan?
Every local community has different needs. So for us, for example, a key element of the success of Southeast Michigan and of Michigan generally is the revitalization of Detroit. And so for us, it's important to be responsive to that and also be responsive to all of the industries and the economy that helps drive us here in Metro Detroit. So it's mobility, it's agriculture, it's tourism. Those things all really matter to the state of Michigan. And this is the part of the ground that I care about and that me and my team are here to deliver for Detroit, and we're proud of the work we do.
How do you grade yourself on your success? What is the proof of your success?
The proof of our success is first and foremost whether or not our clients are doing more business with us, and gratefully and thankfully they are. And so we know that when we're growing our business, it's because we're doing good work for our clients. The grade I'm always going to give us is incomplete, but I feel better about the work that we do today than we did years ago, and I'm going to feel even better about it a few years from now.
Thanks, Matt. Learn more at bankofamerica.com.
Fall into savings at LaFontaine Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Fenton. During Jeep Adventure Days, go off the grid in a new 2019 Jeep Compass Limited for as low as $129 a month. For this and all the September family deals, go straight to LaFontaine Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Fenton or start shopping online now at LaFontaineCDJRFenton.com. Offer ends 9/30/19 for qualified buyers only. See dealer for complete details.
This moment is brought to you by Mega Millions.
First class now moving for Paris, Rome, and London.
You're 6 numbers away from your moments.
Friday's Mega Millions jackpot's $211 million. Get your ticket today.
The only way you can take 97 London ticket with you is the radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
All right, breaking news into the program as Wojo disputes a quote from Calvin Johnson in his SI interview.
Give me that quote again.
He claims that John Kitna in 2008 came up to him and said, quote, he left the meeting room one day and he told the coaches and the whole team that we're not going to win a game if we go into the season with this system. Somebody should have listened because we were 0-16 after that.
Okay. I don't dispute that.